Send them all.
Welcome to the Ref Room. Hockey talk for referees, coaches, players, and fans.
Broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
With your hosts, Scott Smokin' Sills and Brad Baumrock.
Live.
The Ref Room starts right now.
And now your host.
All right, happy holidays, everybody. Welcome to the Ref Room. I am Scott Smokin' Sills, being joined by my good friend, Mr. Brad Baumrock. We are here to talk some hockey today. What's going on, my friend? How you doing?
Not much. How are you? I'm excited about the holiday season. I know that we all are. I know next week is, going to be busy for everybody. Not on the ice, but with family.
No, definitely not on the ice. It's definitely not going to be busy. It almost seems like hockey just stopped.
Yeah, it's a different culture right now. A lot of people didn't skate on Thanksgiving, which was awkwardly weird. I mean, normally I skate a couple games and there wasn't much out there. I know a couple tournaments ran, but, even a tournament that I've refereed for, 20 years, they had no Thanksgiving games. It was very weird, and it seems like a lot of teams are saying no to traveling, and the parents are going to stay home and they're going to, celebrate, Hanukkah or Christmas together, and just seems
Christmas,
a little
Kwanzaa.
different, but yeah, sure. Yeah, I forgot about Kwanzaa. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. I mean, honestly, I keep looking at the schedule going, oh, they must be holding a tournament back or something, waiting to post it, and nothing comes up. There's like nothing between now and New Year's. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It looks like we're in the off season.
Well, like we were discussing earlier, it's awkward because Christmas falls on Sunday, New Year's falls on Sunday. Yeah. So you lose that Saturday, Christmas Eve, and then Sunday, it's Christmas, and then you lose Monday because people are off, and then the next week you do the same thing again, and, I think it would probably work out a little differently if, Christmas or Hanukkah were on Saturday or Friday.
I mean, we always travel. We always went to the same destination every year based on your age group. You went for like 4 years to one area, and then once you hit a different age group, you went to a different area. But it was scheduled. Didn't matter what day Christmas fell on or New Year's. I mean, you left the day after. We came back from Minnesota on Christmas Eve. We're home for Christmas Day, and then we left for Canada on the day after Christmas, and we were up there until after the New Year. So that's just the way it worked. It didn't change. Mark it down. That's where you're going to be. It's different. I would think there'd be some teams that, would be dying to come to Chicago for the holiday season. I'm sure some parents would love to come here and spend some of their hard-earned hockey dollars. I mean, why not?
Well, I think, I just think a lot of people with the whole, pandemic, I think a lot of people realize that family time is a little more important right now. And, hey, we can't knock anybody for that. And I'm with it. Like, I like it. And I normally don't skate this weekend anyways, so last weekend, because we normally have Hanukkah one day and then we have Christmas the next day for my family. But, this weekend, my wife is busy. I've been busy. We didn't do the Hanukkah thing. We're going to do Christmas the 23rd with my family. It's going to be all jumbled up into one weekend, so it's very different. But I just think a lot of people realize it's a little more important than playing games, and the referees, I think, could use a break.
I'm not going to argue that. I think they probably could use a break. I mean, everybody's been going pretty hard. But this would be like the lightest month I've had in years, honestly. This will be the lightest month I've ever had. I can't remember.
December's always light.
Yeah, I just don't remember it ever being this quiet. So, I feel I feel like I'm missing something here, if you know what I mean. I still love doing it. So, all right. Well, now are you exchanging gifts? I know you've got kids, obviously. So Santa Claus has got to come pay them a visit, obviously. But
absolutely.
Do you and Rachel exchange gifts or?
No, we haven't for years. Normally, what we just do is buy something for the house.
Okay, that's cool.
That's a good idea. We're looking at a fireplace for the wall. So I'm trying to get her over the hump to buy it, but she's really not wanting to. So,
wait, you mean like a fake fireplace that goes on the wall, or is this like you want to put in a fireplace like a gas fireplace or electric fireplace.
I'm not putting in a fireplace. That'd be a lot of work, and I don't
Well,
honestly.
you see,
know
I have
where we
one.
would put it.
I have one right there.
That's your TV. That's the TV.
Oh, but it's a fireplace on the wall, isn't it?
No, I hear you. We were just talking about it for our front room, and
Yeah.
I don't know. That'll probably be after the new year, to be honest with you. But other than that, no, we really don't exchange gifts. The boys get spoiled. They get spoiled twice.
Do they want all like hockey gifts? That's what I'm curious about. Do they get all hockey stuff, or do they get something else too?
Video games and hockey?
Video games and hockey are the big ones.
Yep.
Okay. Now, what's the big gift this year? Everybody wants. What's everybody looking for?
Nah, that one I don't know. I don't keep up with that anymore. When our kids were little, I did. I mean, like when that Tickle Me Elmo came out, I was there. It was like September. I was buying.
The PS5 on the radar?
Well, it's 2 years old. It shouldn't be on the radar anymore.
You still can't get them. You can barely get them. You got to buy a bundle in order to get one.
Yep.
I mean,
it's a problem.
Yeah, definitely a problem. I mean, it's like everything else. It's electronics. It's still kind of tough to come by. So,
anyway. I hear you. Speaking of problems, the one thing I was thinking of is, because we are at this 6 month mark, right, of the season. Everybody might be a month behind, depending on where you live. But, parents have been a problem. I think that's just international. I don't think that changes anywhere you go in the world. And the referees in that time, we need to remember that there's only a couple things we can control in a hockey game. Number one, ourselves. Number two, line changes. Other than that, pretty much everybody else is on their own. So, we need to act accordingly, if that makes sense. If you have to remove a parent, Scott, I think you had to just remove a parent over the weekend, didn't you?
No, I didn't actually throw anybody out this weekend. Maybe a week ago, probably a week ago, I usually just have to bounce one here and there. You get one that's a solo. They think they're a solo singer in the big group. They got the big gospel choir back there singing, and then they got to stand out and do their lead solo. And that's usually when it's time to send their performance home. You just kind of send them packing at that point.
My question is when do you send them packing? When do you send them packing? My sending them packing is different than yours.
Yeah.
What do you think we should be looking for?
Well, I think, anybody that's persistently standing out in the crowd, I guess you would say, the solo performer that wants to upstage the rest of the talent that's back there. That's usually, that gets the radar, that gets a radar lock on you. And, we're going to try to start identifying who that is. If I consistently hear a couple things come out of there that shouldn't be coming out, it could be directed at my partner or myself, whatever. I'm going to, wait till I'm in position and I can get a good look, and I'm going to figure out who it is, and I'm going to know where it's coming from. And, I'll be the first to tell you, like, it's not the first time that maybe I had to go over there and try to remove somebody. And you don't always know who you're getting, they blend in pretty well. These people, they're like little gremlins. They just kind of fit in with the rest of the crowd. I mean, I can remember probably a year ago, I went over and I was like, look, I know it's right over here. Somebody's got to go. Somebody's going. I don't care who it is. Send somebody out of here. And of all people, who goes? Some lady raises her hand and says, I'll go. And I'm like, I know it's not you. It wasn't a female voice, okay? But she took one for the team. She manned up and took it for the team. And I was like, that's cool. Guess what? I didn't hear another peep the rest of the night. Probably made it worse because she stood up and they knew she had nothing to do with it, just like I knew she had nothing to do with it. But, she was brave enough to take one for the team, and, good for her. I have much respect for her. I had a lot of respect for her when she did that, okay? And believe me, it goes a long way. We know. We're not stupid. Watching these games, we kind of know who the problems are and where they come from, so. Well, I don't know about you. That's what gets my attention usually.
I think my attention normally is once we've crossed into vulgarity. I mean, I can deal with, hey, you suck, or the calls are terrible, or, why are you screwing us, something like that. But, you know, the way I look at it is, you know, if you wouldn't say it at your grandmother's, you know, table at Christmas or
Yep.
anything else, I think we've crossed a different line there at that aspect that, you know, hey, you can express your opinions. I think most referees can deal with that. I mean, unless they're both 12 or 14, then we have a totally different atmosphere as well. And I think a lot of people forget, you know, hey, referees are there to ref the game. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not there to listen to
We
you.
shouldn't be the spectator police too. Really, that shouldn't be what we have to do. But there are times. I remember there was a tournament, I think last summer, and some guy from out of town, he was so obnoxious the whole game, just obnoxious. I mean, beyond, you know, we know what obnoxious is, but like way above and beyond. And when I did finally go over there and like either it stops or you got to go, I got a standing round of applause from the people in the stands because they had it worse than I had. They were sitting there in the middle of it and they didn't like it. It was another team. Mm-hmm. Parents were sitting close, and they were clearly very irritated with the gentleman. And you know, they let me know in a polite way that they agreed with my decision to, you know, either cool it or take a hike, one of the two. So, you know, I think most of the time the parents realize what's going on and they support what we are doing, the majority of them. It's usually somebody we don't know. They could have been out in the parking lot tailgating all day. They could have had a bad day. Their kid's not playing well. Their kid's not playing. He's sitting at the end of the bench. You know, you just don't know. You know, we don't get to give them a questionnaire at the end. We don't get to give them the exit survey as to, you know, what got you to this point, so we can know for future. So, you know, that's really kind of how I view it. But, you know, there's more than that going on. I mean, you know, there's a lot of things we could really talk about with regard to stuff like that, because let's talk about parents in the scorer's box.
Well, we can
that
get
think
to
it's
that.
okay to come in. Oh, you want to wait on that one? Or
I got
you got some more you want to cover?
Just
Bring it.
one other thing that
Bring it.
I'm definitely removing a fan with, and it's objects being thrown onto the ice. If anybody throws anything onto the ice, you know, I change is very hard to identify.
Yeah.
It does happen. You can hear it hit the ice sometimes if you're close enough, but then when you start seeing it, you know, I'd say this, you know, the polite thing to do is you hope that it's some kid. That's really one thing that you hope, and you just go over to where it's kind of in its location and say, hey, if anybody's throwing change out here on the ice, you do know that like somebody can step on this, blow their knee out, break their head. You know, this is super, super dangerous, and you hope it stops. Yeah. That's definitely, if you can identify the person, you got to get rid of them. The other thing that I haven't seen in a while is I just heard about it around the rink. was somebody
these the
had a
toys
whistle.
you're referring to?
Somebody had a whistle in the stands. Somebody had a whistle, and they were blowing it during the game. Now, I don't understand this thinking like at all, because if you have one, somebody's going to see you with it. They know what team you're with. What's to stop them from going to their car if they're a coach, or, you know, going to the pro shop and buying one? So I've never understood that one bit. But, yeah, I catch you with a whistle, you're out the door, too. I mean, you know, have a nice night. I'm removing you. But now we can go to that scorekeeper part, because there's a couple of awkward conversations that we were talking about.
We're not done with this. Now you got me going a little bit, you know, because as long as we're talking about this, I mean, you know, coins on the ice are super dangerous. I mean, I know we have some other teams that choose to throw some toys on the ice. We'll call them toys.
Well, you're talking well, they're not prophylactics, but they're simulators.
Toys.
They're simulators.
Yeah, toys. You know,
keep it.
I get it. It's in good humor, you know, or, you know, whatever.
Bad humor.
I haven't had one of those games. That's one of the things I have not been involved with. I've been involved with a lot of stuff, but that's not one of the toys we had to go pick up or whatever. Well, I wouldn't be picking that up. I'd be like, find housekeeping. Find a housekeeper. The maid's off today. I'm not picking that up. Like Berta and 2.5 Men. I ain't cleaning that up.
Yep. Good luck.
That's right. I ain't cleaning that up. But yeah,
I mean, you know, the worst one that I've had, you know, like I've been involved in games where those objects have been thrown on the ice. That's not bad. I've been on the ice when there's been a squid thrown out on the ice. That was during a college game.
yeah.
And the poor girl that had to come pick it up was probably just doing like an internship or something. And I wheeled past her, you know, she's a college student. I'm like, you should pick that thing up and swing it around your head. You'll get a standing ovation. She barely picked it up with the rubber gloves and put it into the bucket. I'm like, then my linesman partner comes over, picks it out of the bucket, and swings it around his head. So it was funny at the end of that.
He got a big round of applause, I bet.
He did. And then the worst thing that I've seen, though, and, you know, I don't know why anybody would do this either. It's normally high school kids, is where they take the entire garbage can and throw it out on the ice. Now, mind you, those things are heavy, too. Like, A, how they got it over is, you know, one thing, but B, that can hurt somebody. That's absurd. So, yeah, you're definitely leaving for the garbage can. You know, the simulator.
That's an exit pass?
That's an exit pass. So,
Expressway exit pass?
Yes, especially with just, you know, not only that, it's going to spill all kinds of stuff out on the ice. Now we're talking about a delay. You're talking
Is that where Mr. Rothstein comes over and says, you know, throw him out in the alley and use his head to exit the door and tell the police, tell the police he got hit by a car.
Great movie. Great movie flick.
Yep.
But,
I was thinking about that, actually. I was in one of our favorite little fast food restaurants yesterday, and I got a Polish sausage. I got a Maxwell Polish sausage, okay? And my bun came out, and, you know, it's supposed to be a poppy seed bun. I think I had like 4 poppy seeds on my bun. And all I wanted to do was go up there and go, put an equal number of poppy seeds on the bun.
Like the muffins.
You know how long that's going to take? I don't care.
Yeah.
Equal number.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah. You know, got to have some fun once in a while. Anyway, we spend a lot of time in the restaurants between games, you know, when you're trying to kill time and warm up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That
all right, so let's
restaurant's
talk.
very popular.
Yes.
Very popular.
Yeah, it is very popular.
For
very
out-of-state
popular.
teams.
Yes.
Out-of-state
popular.
teams, it's
Yep.
don't go there during a tournament.
That's right. And make sure an equal number of poppy seeds are on the bun. All right, let's talk about scorekeepers. Parents keeping score. So I guess the first question that always comes to my mind is, how is it they can get that? When you tell them don't put anything on the board, the penalty goes up like this. I mean, it's like, boom, instant. Hey, don't put anything up. Boom, penalty's already up there. When you do want it to go up, it might take 5 minutes to get the penalty up there. You know, you got a 2-minute trip. Can you put the penalty up on the board? I don't know how. Okay, don't put anything up. Boom, there it goes. There it goes.
I think the big thing is to, you know, acclimate yourself with the board. There's only one unit, and what's really sad is it's at a rink that I worked at for 3 years, and it's there, and it's in a couple other rinks in Illinois. I don't remember how to use it anymore. I'm not going to try to learn how to use it anymore. But the common ones, I know how to use both of those. I can get through those in a heartbeat, and if you're working with lower level games, I would always ask them, hey, do you know what the penalties are? So in other words, the signals. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two is, do you know how to put them up there? Because if not, we got this 5 minutes right now. We can run through this real quick.
Yeah.
And you know that might ease some of your tension. And then the other big thing is, no matter which board I'm using, I always say there's a solo number 7. Always put a 0 in front of it. I don't care if it shows 07 on the board. At least the penalty is going to go up. We're going to keep moving because the one unit does not work unless you put in 2 numbers, which is a programming error that I think they could have.
I mean, there are
fixed in the
definitely
80s.
some weird little nuances with some of the clocks. Some of the buildings you can't put a double miner up. Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know why.
Won't put up 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think was it Winnetka that you couldn't put up a 4-minute or you couldn't put up a 5-minute? I can't remember. There's some
10 would be a problem.
Well, you don't put up a misconduct, but I see them go up.
Two majors.
Yeah.
Guy got 2 majors, they'd both be up there.
Yeah. That's
Which
true.
which they do go into the unit and it'll show 0 on all 3 things, but once they hit the clock it goes right to 9:59.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some interesting scenarios that do take place with regard to the clocks. Now, I mean, one of the big pet peeves I have, and parents, if you don't want to keep score, why don't you just enjoy the game and hire a scorekeeper? Hire somebody that does it all, that plays the music and does the score and knows what they're doing. Because I love when you come over and let's say you got 3 guys in the penalty box and you go over to the scorekeeper and go, okay, this person is coming out at this time. And they're like, no, I know. Yeah, no, okay, good. The puck goes down and out come 3 guys. Like, it's just like we just talked about this. You assured me you knew what we were supposed to do here. And of course you didn't. And by the way, folks, if the scorekeeper makes an error, don't charge the other team or that team with a penalty. It's a scorekeeper error. Just adjust it, fix it, and move on.
Sort it out.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to be a too many men on the ice penalty or too many players on the ice, anything of that nature. Just fix it and as quickly as possible and get the game back going, because the best thing you can have is the puck in motion versus everybody standing around. So, always good advice there.
Less time to talk. I'm with you 100%.
Exactly. So, let's talk about parents as far as in the score box. Some of them continue their tailgating or want to continue their tailgate party in the scorer's box, which is not allowed.
Right.
We do see that at a lot of rinks where folks think that they can continue their little tailgate party in the scorer's box. But, if you're a parent and you're in the scorer's box, you are a minor official. You are there. You work for the referees. You are there to help the referees. You are not there to question the calls. You're not there to ask questions. I mean, I had a lady. This is we were I don't want to say what rink because I don't want to give the team away.
Yeah.
Okay, but this particular rink, you cannot get into the penalty box without going in from the ice surface. There are no doors in the back, no doors on the side. It is glass that goes way up in the sky. Mm-hmm. You are in isolation. You are in a soundproof booth, okay? We could, you'd have to beat on the glass and hope somebody saw you because nobody would ever know you were in there otherwise, all right? But suddenly, at the end of, the first period, the lady comes out and goes, there's racial slurs being belted out. I'm like, ma'am, you're in a soundproof booth. You're not even near. You've got glass, and glass before you get to the other team. Where's this coming from? Where are we hearing this from? I mean, parents will stir it up. Parents are there. They will stir it up if they have the opportunity. Any way they can. They're looking to get an edge. Crazy. Crazy.
You're bringing me back to when, play started to resume, but the rinks had all kinds of restrictions, and it was the coaches, the players, and the referees. There was, I honestly, I didn't have one problem with any coach or player the entire time.
It was great. It was great.
It was crazy. It was so different, and I don't think we're ever going to go back to that, but
I hope not.
I think somebody did suggest that they put a soundproof bubble around the rink and just let the kids play and have the coaches in there. It might not be a problem. So,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but I get where you're coming from. Yeah. How are they witnessing this? Why are they bringing this up? Now they're a minor official and they're bringing this up. Now you got
they start asking. They want an interpretation on things. It's like, oh, you're in here to open the door and close the door. That's
Start
it.
Clock.
Open the door, close the door. That's all we want. So we don't even want that. Let the player open the door and close the door. You don't need to be here. You're just trying to get the best seat in the house, or you're trying to get away from all the other parents that can't stand you. One of the two. So, that's a possibility too. Because, a lot of times those people are sitting there, oh yeah, I don't want to sit over by those people. Okay, well,
That's true.
There might be a reason why they don't want you sitting over by them. We don't know. But, some of them are cool. Some of them are not always cool. So it is what it is.
Yep.
But anyway, but parents, if you're thinking of tailgating, you don't get to do that in the penalty box as a minor official.
Yeah, part of the ATF, the A and the T
Yeah.
are not allowed in,
Right.
in the playing surface. And the penalty
Correct.
box and scorekeeper's bench is
Yep.
part of the playing surface.
And, we're seeing a lot more vaping in the buildings. We're seeing it
Yeah,
around the building.
Vaping, I don't get. I mean, I know it's a new
I don't
trend,
either, but we're seeing it. It's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, in the scorekeeper box, I saw somebody doing it. I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, which, by the way, hey, I'll be the first one to admit, is not a very comfortable conversation. So if anybody has any issues with having that conversation, if you can identify which team that parent's from, or if you don't know, go to the coaches. Be like, hey, can you ask this guy they got to stop. I don't want to remove them. You know, like, what are we going to do here? Most of the coaches, especially when it comes down to the A and the T, they'll take care of that for you. They're not going to have a problem because, A, they don't want to have a parent removed because that's going to come back to them. Right. And B, then the club's going to be down them too, so is the league. So they're normally very willing to help out with, especially
I would agree.
if it's the person writing their name on the sheet, because they're absolutely identifiable at that point.
Normally, I don't have a problem with that. Honestly, when I've had it, I've been able to deal with it.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
blunt.
never had
I'm
that
blunt.
Issue,
Alpha dog will just come over and say, "Got to go. It's got to go. Get rid of it." And they're like, I paid $7 for that. Too bad. Got to go. Can't have it.
Yeah, and
that's it.
You know what? I get where people don't want to have those conversations. Because if you watch the show Cops, most of those people are intoxicated, and that's where it comes from.
But these people still
so.
don't. They've still got it. They got a shirt on. Like in Cops, you have to be in a wife beater or no shirt at all. You cannot be arrested on Cops if you have clothing on. Like on the top half. If you had a button-down shirt, you'd never make it on Cops. I don't care what you did. You're not going to get on Cops. You got to have the wife beater, right?
I don't think you can say that anymore.
That's not what they call them.
I don't think that's politically correct.
Not politically correct.
I believe they're an undershirt, Scott. You gotta get with the times.
Yeah, but that's not a typical undershirt. Undershirt is crew neck, sleeve.
I don't know. I'm not going down this road with you.
All right. Well, all right. Whatever. Anyway, if you have a shirt on, you're not getting arrested on Cops. The producers aren't going to allow that. It's not going to happen. So we'll just leave it at that.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing over here at you right now. I apologize.
I haven't seen the show in a while, but is it still on the air? Are they still running reruns?
So.
Okay.
I think so. I think they're making.
I don't get it. I've got Fubo. We don't get Cops as far as I know. Otherwise I'd be glued to it. That and Jerry Springer all day long, baby. Right?
Well, get some Sling TV and you'll be okay. And Jerry's not making any new shows, so
I know.
You're screwed there.
I know. Jerry had his moment though.
I agree.
Jerry'd be flattered to know he made it onto the ref room, though. Trust me. Jerry likes publicity. All publicity is good publicity.
Positive publicity now.
Right. All publicity is good publicity. There you go. All right. So, where it becomes a problem with the A and the T, we've got young referees.
Yep.
It's going to be hard for a 14-year-old referee to go over and tell you to, lose the beer, that you can't have it in there. So, people should be informed of that. Their team should be making them aware of it. If you are going to be one of the scorekeepers, I know some of the people do it for the first time. or they rotate and they go through. But honestly, the easiest thing, folks, pitch that $50 in a year and you'll have a scorekeeper for every game. And now you don't have to worry about it. You don't have the pressure of trying to get the penalties up and get the signals correct and everything else that you think you know about hockey that we find out that you don't know because we see it all the time.
Yeah, so. and always make sure, too, like, if you have some scorekeepers that you might not be sure of, I'm not saying question everyone, but, the score sheet's right there. They don't hide it while you're reffing. Like, in between periods, just take a glance in. If it's an iPad, hey, you got to grab the iPad. Just be like, oh, I just want to take a look at something. Make up an excuse, whatever it is. Just see that they're putting something in there, because the worst feeling in the world is, oh, great, you didn't put anything in here. And it's happened to me, and it's just normally because you're just in a rush for whatever the reason is, or
and now you got to get to your next game, and you got to stay late to try to figure it out. It's not good.
Yep. So. Yep. Definitely makes for more work for you when you could
absolutely
make it very easy on yourself.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a little bit on the scorekeeper subject. Where are we going from here?
Yeah. I think we've ran out of topics for today. Normally we schedule more time.
Oh, come on, man. We got more topics. Come on, we got more topics. What else you got?
I don't have nothing today.
Really?
Honestly, I don't have anything. I mean,
wow.
The big thing was, the referees and how much we do. I hope the referees do recognize this. I know that it doesn't seem like it. Trust me, 99.9% of the people appreciate us. There is that, 0.01% or 1% or whatever the hell it is that's upset with us. But, we got to remember that, it's not everybody's mad at, us. They're mad at our uniform. They just don't agree with vertical stripes. Try not to get too stressed about it. Go home, celebrate this holidays with your family, and come back ready to go.
I think that you have to, consider that nowadays with what they're getting, if they're getting 2 referees at their game, or if they're not getting experienced referees at their game, boy, they should actually be very happy to see a couple of experienced people walk in the building that are going to be doing their game, because that is a luxury nowadays, folks. Let's look at some of these comments we got. Chris said, I booted 2 parents this weekend. Parent banged the glass right by my head when I was by the glass after a non-call, and it was an immediate exit for them. Yeah.
I can't believe you refereed junior hockey with me, Chris.
Yeah.
You're
parents
for that.
Parents do like to raise their hands sometimes when they shouldn't, because they don't understand, but it's the way it is. Fun question for the chat. If goalkeeper takes a player's stick, then methodically cracks it in half, what are you calling? Use a rule book reference to back it up. All right, Justin, you actually sent me these. You sent me a video of this. I have the video. So basically, there's a play that the goalie ends up getting the stick away from the player. And then he proceeds to take the stick, jam it into the net, and break it off in half in the net. So he snaps the player's stick. And then he comes around and he continues the taunting and bad behavior. So my response to that was,
everybody else is in the other corner.
Right. So my response
I know exactly the video.
Okay, so you know the video I'm referring to. So for me personally, I would have 12 minutes in penalties, and I'm going to tell you how I would go about this. I would have 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct for what he did. He took that player's stick, went over there and broke it. It's unsportsmanlike, okay? And then he continued to taunt everybody. That's where I'm going to come up with the 10-minute misconduct. Now, the reason for this, Justin, that I'm coming up with the 12 minutes is, think about this. Who's going to serve those penalties? That's going to mean 2 players off the ice are now coming off. 1 for 2 minutes, 1 for 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. I think that goalie's going to probably not be very popular in the locker room for about 24 hours. when his buddies now have to go sit his penalties, including one that's a 12-minute penalty, and it's probably two of his friends that were on the ice that might be the couple better players on the team that are going to have to now sit, and maybe now the fourth liners are going to have to come out there and defend. That's making a statement. I think, you put that goalie down in that situation, I think you don't have to worry about that happening again, because I think the players on his team will take care of that won't happen again. That was my take on it. Brad, maybe you got a different opinion on this. Maybe you got a different take. I'd love to hear your thoughts, since you know the video.
My take on it, it's absolutely 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Absolutely. But where the questioning of the 10-minute misconduct comes in, I'm definitely assessing a 10-minute misconduct as well. And the reasoning behind that is because the act of him breaking that stick, now those two remaining pieces have now become weapons.
Yep.
And his bad behavior on top of it.
Yep.
So, I know that it happens isolated from other players. So the thing is, I'm with you too. You had to make a point there that behavior cannot be tolerated. It's definitely not a game misconduct, but it's definitely not a minor either. So I'm definitely giving him the 10. I'm definitely giving him the 2 for the unsportsman. I'm not 10ing him and gaming him. I mean, right. I know that you could go very creatively to do that.
I didn't see anything that would justify gaming him at that point. I think, I agree with you. I think it's 2, and I think it's a 10, and I think you've sent a message. And I think the message will be heard loud and clear by his teammates and coach.
Right, and then, hey, this is where the rule book is gray. Okay, and this is where you live, and creative refereeing sometimes actually calms the game down, resets the mood, and gets you back to where you want to be. And I do understand that he just threw up a comment that it should be added to the case book. The only thing is, that's probably going to be a case by case, because what if the goalie does it and everybody's 3/4 of the way down the ice and he's not taunting anyone? It's not an opposing team's player, but it's his own stick. So now you have a totally different situation, totally different scenario. So it's just very interesting to look at and to think of. But, you could go with the 10 where you're banging it against the boards or the glass, whatever. Let's say he's yelling at the ref. We don't know, because that video is actually mute. I know I've seen it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So who knows who he's yelling at? So you could get him for the 10 for, whatchamacallit, arguing a call or whatnot. You can get him for swearing. You can get him. Yeah. You probably have all these avenues, but remember this too.
I think you need to send a message in that point, okay? And that was, sending that 2 and 10 is a message. You are taking 2 players off the ice right now that were on the ice.
Correct.
And they are going to sit his penalty. And I don't know anybody, even a men's league player, that wants to sit a 10-minute penalty for a goalie. That's almost a whole period.
No, I'm with you. And the other thing is, too, by not ejecting them from that game, you're still leaving that team in there with a chance. So you're penalizing the goalie. Yeah, we know that some poor player is going to get it on top of it. But guess who's going to get it when they get off the ice from the coach or the other players or their parents? I mean, now, okay, I just broke some dude's stick. Oh, thank God it was the other team. But what if he picked up his own teammate's stick on accident? I mean, think about that kind of thing. Who knows whose stick that was?
I think it came out of the opponent's hands, I'm pretty sure. So
it's been a while. I know it's the one where he cranks it over the crossbar underneath the back bar. So, but the thing is if you remove that player, though, goalies are specialized positions. Let's say they don't have another goalie. Okay, now you just really angled that game against the team because of one guy's behavior that wasn't, in my mind, it's another foul. It's not an aggressive foul. It's not an obstruction foul. It's just another foul. So, do we really want to remove him for that? I mean, if you have to, yeah, of course. But my take on it would be give him the 2, give him the 10, make some poor soul. Sorry, you're a victim of the circumstances.
Yep. You're a lottery winner. You won the lottery tonight. Go buy a ticket. Yeah. Here's your lottery.
Maybe there's some guy on the bench that's got a broken collarbone that doesn't care, that they just have him there to serve those kind of penalties. So, I just think that's the way to go about it.
But in that situation, he's got to come from the ice.
The minor has to come from the ice, but You can take the 10 from the bench too.
All right. Mark says, "Nice hat, Brad." Your buddy Mark Bialco checking in.
Yeah, we were texting each other about hats earlier.
Yeah, Chris said it scared him.
He's talking about the banging on the glass.
Yeah.
I knew he would have.
Yeah, Justin said you should add that to the casebook. Well, we kind of covered that. The lobby parking lot will be interesting. I bet they will try and make the goalie pay up. Yeah, I mean, good luck with that, but I'm sure somebody will not be happy. I mean, you can hear the poor parents that just go, ooh, anytime a kid breaks a stick, because they know it just cost the parent at least $200. Ooh, there goes the stick. They know the pain. They know the pain. Trust me. Some sticks go for $500 these days. I haven't seen one of those unless they said Titleist or TaylorMade or Ping on it. Those go for $500, but they last. They last for years. So I don't know about that, but. And Karen checks in. Hey, Karen. General consensus by state seems to be that vaping is considered tobacco and similar rules apply. Most regulations cover age of buyer and sales and use tag. Yeah, and that's accurate. Yep. We don't disagree. We don't disagree with that. Yeah, we don't disagree with that.
Yep.
That's fine. All right. Well, if anybody has anything else before we go, post it up in the comments. Thank you for watching. We are going to take next week off because it's Christmas Eve. We're going to give everybody a little break from us. Plus, there's no hockey going on. So there's is it day after Christmas? I can't remember. What day is it? What day?
There you go.
Oh, day after. Okay.
Day after. We've had this conversation 3 times.
Yeah, you got to go out and shop then. You got to go back out and spend some more money. There you go. You got to get to the sales and make all those returns.
Sell my gift cards.
Right. All right. So that's what you will be doing next week. Okay.
We'll be back.
Are we coming back? We're coming back after the new year on the 2nd, right? Yeah, we're going to come back on the 2nd. So we're only going to take one week off. So we'll come back. We've got some great topics, and we've got some great guests lined up. So we will do that. I'm still dying over here, man. I've been sick since before CCM. Anyway. All right. So with that being said, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. This has been like our 3rd Christmas that we've spent together on the show, I think.
3rd.
Yeah.
Third one. Yep. This one's the close. I think this one's the furthest away from Christmas, though. I think we've always been closer.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So Merry Christmas to you and your family, and also Happy Hanukkah, because I know the good half celebrates that part, right? She does. Yep. And so does our family. We celebrate both. That's what Ray Liotta says in the movie, right? In Goodfellas. Only the good half. Only the good half. Only the good half. Right. Yeah, only the good half. Great movie, by the way, too. Another great movie. We keep doing this all day with movies. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, all of you that are watching and all the people that are watching the replay, thank you for joining us. As always, we appreciate you. You can always support the Ref Room if you'd like by donating a coffee by going to buymeacoffee.com/refroom. And please hit the subscribe button, hit a like button. Give us a comment, give us, hit the subscribe button, all that good notification button, all that good stuff. Hit something. You're a hockey player. Hit something, will you? All right. Any New Year's resolutions for next year? Because I won't see it before New Year's. You got anything you want to hope for 2023? I'm gonna play the lotto. I don't know if that's a resolution or a wish, but Okay. No, I got nothing. I'm just happy that everything's looking like we're gonna have a new year here, and hopefully the further we get away from our isolation when we started this, hopefully the bigger and better everything gets, and hopefully things calm down in the stands. It's been. Yeah. I know it's been rough. I've had a good year. Honestly, I have not had. Mine's been good. Mine's been good too. I don't want to jinx it because there's still some hockey left, but now we're going to get into the more intense part of hockey because playoffs are coming. Everybody, playoffs. Buckle up your seatbelts. Yes, the playoffs are coming. You see that poor guy on the Blackhawks that got the puck in the mouth? Oh no, I didn't see that. Yeah, I think Joe Prescott sent me the video. I guess he had just come back from an injury, and he took the face shield off, and then he takes a slap shot almost directly in the face off a deflection off the stick. Oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
definitely he was
it's,
definitely opened up. Yeah, so just one of those things.
You gotta
Tough.
You gotta be. Gotta have some nails in your veins in order
Yeah,
to
it's a
deal with
tough
the
guy
injuries.
sport.
It's all
It's a
part
tough
of
guy
it.
sport. Yep, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, everybody have a safe, happy holiday from all of us. Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus for the rest of us, and all that good stuff.
All of us.
All of us.
All of us. There's more.
Both
Who the hell else
of
is
us. And
helping?
Frankie. Frankie's here. Frankie's right here. There's Frankie.
There you go.
There, she's right there. She's got to get on camera. She's always right by my side. She's my co-host over here. One of these days you got to come over to the studio, Brad, and do the show. We've talked about that for 3 years now.
Yeah, well, we can try and figure it out. We were going to do it last time, but then I'm
do
like,
that
nah, this ain't going to work out.
Do that from the same room, All right, buddy. Well, you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you guys soon. And again, happy holidays, everybody, from the Ref Room. And we'll
2
see
weeks.
2 weeks. We'll see you back at the start of the new year on January 2nd, 2023. I'm Scott Smoking Stills, Brad Baumrock.
There you go.
All right. Take care, everybody. Peace out.